So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the Celtic weave stitch. It is a 2-row repeated pattern and you get these gorgeous sort of cables that weave under each other. It really is a good stitch. I would say definitely not a beginner stitch. You will need to know how to do trebles in UK terminology and working in the front and back post. I do have videos on those which I will link in the description for you, so if you're not too sure what to do there, you might want to go and have a look at those videos first. So let's have a look at the tutorial. So for this tutorial I'm using a Stylecraft Aran. I think the colourway here is lavender if you're interested in those things. I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook. You can use any yarn with the corresponding hook size that it suggests on the label. And I have a pair of scissors to cut off my ends. So to start off with, I'm going to make a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And we need to make a foundation chain in a multiple of 4. So I'm going to do a sample chain of 20, but you can do as many chains as you would like for as wide as you'd like your piece to be, as long as it's in the multiple of 4. So yarn over and pull back through your slip knot, and that gives you chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So pause the video now whilst you make your foundation chain. So I have my foundation chain of 20 and now we're going to start row 1, and row 1 starts by making a treble, that's UK terminology, that would be a double crochet in US, in the 3rd chain from the hook. So we don't count the one on the hook, so 1, 2, 3, and we go in there with the treble, so we yarn over, insert into the chain, yarn over, pull back through, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull back through 2 loops, yarn over, pull back through the last 2 loops, and there you have your first treble. I'm going to make a treble in the next stitch, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And we're going to make trebles in each of the chains all the way back down the row. So pause the video now whilst you complete your chains and I will see you in a moment. So just coming up to my last treble of the row, and there we have row 1 complete. So for row 2 we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch throughout the whole piece. Therefore the first stitch will always go in the first gap, and in there we're going to do a treble. So we're going to yarn over and insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So we've got our starting chains which we're not counting, and we have a treble. We're then going to skip 2 stitches and we're going to work a front post double treble around the next stitch. So these are the posts here, so these are the tops of the stitches and these uprights are the posts. So we're skipping the first 2 and we're going to work around the 3rd one. So yarn over, that would give us our double treble, and we go into the gap just before the post, come behind the post and back out the other side. We yarn over, we pull the yarn back behind that post and back out. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do exactly the same thing in or around the next post. So yarn over, go in just before the post, bring your hook round the back of the post and back out the front, yarn over and pull the yarn back behind that post to bring your hook out. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So these stitches here are sort of going off to the side, and that's exactly what we want, so don't stress. So we're now going to go back to the 2 skipped stitches, and we're going to be working around these 2 posts, and we're going to start with the first one, and we're doing exactly the same stitch, so a front post double treble. So yarn over, just before the post, and then come out and just after the post, yarn over and pull the yarn behind the post. You might need to pull the yarn up a little bit longer so it's all in line. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to go into the second one, and it's a little bit trickier to see this one, so if you need to pull your stitches apart, that's fine. And we're going through there with a front post double treble. So yarn over, go in just before the post, come out just after, yarn over and pull the yarn back behind the post, pull it up a bit if you need to. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we now should have a sort of crisscross. So we've got the first 2 we made at the back, and we've got the second 2 crossing over on the front. And we're just going to repeat this all the way down the row. So we've worked these 2 posts, so we don't count those. We skip the next 2 posts, and we're going to work behind these 2 next. So yarn over, insert just before the post, come out behind, yarn over and pull the yarn behind the post. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going around the second one, so yarn over, go behind the post, yarn over and pull the yarn back behind the post, pull it up so it's all level, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Now we go back to the 2 posts that we skipped, working around the first skipped post, yarn over, go in behind the post, yarn over, pull it back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Pull your stitches apart to try and find that second skipped one. Yarn over, insert and go behind the post and come out the front. Yarn over and pull the yarn behind the post. Pull the yarn up so it's nice and level. Yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. And there we have the second crossover. So we're going to do that all the way down our row. So find the next unworked post, skip, skip, and then do your first front post double trebles behind these 2. Then come back and work behind these 2. Work till you get to the end, and you should have 1 treble and your turning chains, and stop when you get there and I will show you what you need to do next. So pause the video now whilst you work the rest of the row. So I'm just coming up to the end of my row here. So I've got my 4 repeated patterns there. So these 2 stitches cross over those 2 stitches, and I am now left with my treble and my turning chains. And we're going to finish the row off by working into the top of the treble. So if you turn your work slightly, you'll be able to see the top of the treble, and we're working in there with a treble. So yarn over, insert into the top of the treble, yarn over, pull back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And that is the end of the second row. Now the second row is the right side of your work. So I'm just going to pop a little stitch marker in here just to remind me. Now it should be obvious that this is the right side and this is the wrong side, because you will find that your stitches are pushed forward on the right side and they're pushed back on the wrong side. But just in case, you know, sometimes the doorbell goes, the phone rings, you get distracted, and you think, oh, which one am I working on? If you've got your right side marked, then that's really useful. So let's start row 3. So we're going to chain 2 and we're going to turn our work. That chain, as always, does not count, so we're going to work into that very first stitch there. So for row 4 then, we're going to chain 2, turn our work. Remember that chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to work into that very first space, into that first stitch with a treble. And then we're going to work through the first 2 hidden stitches. So these are these 2 on the back here. And we're going to do a back post treble. So yarn over, come through the back rather than the front, over the top, yarn over and pull through. Then complete our treble stitch. Then we're going to do the next stitch, and it's hidden behind these 2 ones that are pushed forward. So if you turn to the back, we've just worked this one, we're going to work around that post. So yarn over, we're going to do a back post treble, go behind the post, pull up a loop, and then complete your treble. So that's just at the start of row 4. Then we're going to skip. So this is very similar to row 3. We're going to skip these 2 and we're going to work around the next 2 hidden ones. And we're going back to double trebles now, but they're going to be back post double trebles. So yarn over, come up through the back, over the top of the post and out the back again. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Yarn over, going through the second one that's hidden at the back. 4 loops, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we're going to come back to these 2 that we have skipped. So with these 2 stitches prominent, you might need to pull these apart a little bit to find the gap. So yarn over, coming through the back of the work, over the top of the stitch and out the back again. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we're going to go through the next hidden loop, which is this one here. Sorry, it was not hidden. I confused myself then. Yarn over, come through the back, over the top and out. Yarn over and pull through. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So from this side it doesn't look hugely different, but you can see the difference on the other side and you can see it starting to cross over. So we're going to start the pattern again. Now we are going to skip the next 2 stitches. Now remember, we have worked these 2 at the back already, so we're going to skip these 2 stitches that are prominent at the front and we're going to work around these 2 stitches that are at the back. So we're going to go around there with back post double trebles. So yarn over, come in through the back, over the post, out the back again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we're going to do the second missed one at the back. So yarn over, go behind that post, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we go back to these ones here. So yarn over, come behind your work, out through the front and pull the loop round. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and then pulling around the last one here, yarn over, yarn over, through the back, pull your loop up and then complete the double treble. You skip the next two and we work exactly the same. 2 back post double trebles here and then come back to here. So you work those stitches now and I will see you in a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of my row. I have worked these 2 stitches here and you should be left with the 2 stitches that are sort of prominent, that have been pushed forward, and your treble here. And remember, we don't count those turning chains. So we're going to work around these 2 posts that have been pushed forward, and we're going to go around those with back post trebles. So we only yarn over once, come through the back, out through the back again. You should have 3 loops on your hook and then you complete your treble. We do that again with the next post, so yarn over, in through the back, over the top, yarn over and pull through, and then complete your treble. And then in the top of the final treble we're going to do a treble, and that is row 3 complete. So you can start seeing your pattern emerge. You can see how you're sort of getting this crisscross effect because you're hiding. Now the reason we're getting that is because we started with these back post trebles at the beginning and at the end of the rows. Otherwise you'd just end up with a wave if you didn't do that, if you just went into the crisscross from the start, if that makes sense. So then for row 4 we're basically repeating row 2. So rows 2 and 3 are the repeated pattern. So chain 2 and turn. Remember, the chain 2 does not count. So we're going to do a treble in that very first stitch. We're going to skip these 2 posts here and we're going to work around these 2 here, and then we'll come back to those 2. So we yarn over, we're doing front post double trebles around the post there. So that's 1 and 2. Then we come back to work around these 2 posts. So double trebles, front post around that one there, whoops, and the second missed one. And we carry that way, on that way, all the way down the row. And you can really see the crisscross is starting there. So I'm going to work up a few more rows and I shall show you what it looks like when you have a little bit more to look at. So I've just worked up a few more rows for you to see how it looks, and it is an absolutely gorgeous pattern. You've sort of got these cables that sort of run underneath each other and sort of weave up. Really lovely. Obviously the back is different to the front because it is a 2-row repeated pattern. I do find that the front post row is quicker to work up than the back post row. I don't know if that's just me and trying to get my head around it. But I think once you get the hang of the pattern and you know exactly what to do in each row, it should be fairly quick to work up. So that's how to do the Celtic weave stitch. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help us to get seen by the algorithm and for other crocheters to find us. I'll pop 2 more videos on the side of the screen to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!